There are two kinds of margins we'll be talking about. Margin is an income over feed cost. Two kinds of margins. One, the expected margin, the expected gross margin. And that's the margin that if I were if today was part of the enrollment period, and I was nervous about what might happen in the second quarter of next year, let's say during April, the expected margin would be the kind of offer, income over feed cost, expected margin, or insurance guarantee that I could buy today for that month. Let's say we want to focus on next March. Your quantities of milk and corresponding feed that you're interested in, we would price that using the futures prices for next March, come up with a margin, income over feed cost, and that would be your insurance guarantee times the number of hundredweights of milk you'd be interested in rolling. Here's an example. Today would be April 9, looking ahead to the 12 months out, which would have been March of 2010. That's the one we want to look at. Everything that I do will be at 100 weights. You can put as many zeros behind that as what it takes to fit your operation for milk. My examples are going to be at the 0 deductible, and that's the best price guarantee you can get and the most costly guarantee you can get. You can work from there quite easily to the different deductibles that can range from $0 to $2 per hundredweight in 10-cent increments. You can use either your feed requirements with an upper and lower bound. We set minimum and maximum that we'll do in the milk to feed margin calculation. Or you can use, we make it where you don't have to worry about feed records, where you can use a default ration. And the default ration is for each hundredweight of milk, we would assume that it takes a half a bushel of corn to produce that hundredweight and 4 pounds of soybean meal. And you can see at the time we were doing this, you would like to buy a lot of corn based on today's prices. It was $4.18 a bushel, and the soybean meal was $266.30 a ton. So those two numbers give us a feed cost, a projected feed cost of $262 against $15.45 milk, or an expected gross margin of $12.83, which could be my insurance guarantee. If I take $1 deductible, it'd be $1 less than that, $11 instead of $12. So, but this is where we work from on a 0 deductible. So we enrolled some milk in the program at this month that we project ourselves to be in today. When we got out to March the following year, we did the same thing again, only now we're pricing what the elements were on the futures prices on the board the month that we actually had booked protection. And the change is the milk went from $15.45 to $12.78. The feed cost went from $262 to $230. The margin, the guarantee was $12.86, the expected margin. The actual margin was $10.48. So you'd have a payment of $2.35 per hundredweight times the number of hundredweights you enrolled. Again, if I had selected $1 deductible, that would have been $11.83. This would not have changed, so I'd get $1.35, but I would have spent a lot less premium. That's the basics. Is everybody together on what expected margin is? That's the calculation looking ahead up to a year. And the actual margin is for whatever that period is that you enrolled. That's calculating after we get through each of those months, and then we aggregate the number of months I enrolled in for that enrollment period. Today being, the 2-day enrollment period.